excited to show you these trades that's set up for Thursday. This is a great trading day. Really fantastic examples here. Real fast, I'm going to show you again how we take our trades. What are our setups? Very simple, right? We look at the algorithm. That's the first thing that happens, is that fires on our settings, and we look to see if the other trade setups and criteria are there. So first trade happens short. So this short is against the EMA, right? So the fast EMA is still on the top. It hasn't crossed down into our favor. So automatically we can't take that trade. Immediately following that, right? This is volatility right at the open. Usually I don't like these trades until we kind of settle down around 10 a.m. anyway. But, if the trade criteria is there, we'll take it. This one is a long, right? We get a buy signal up, except our impulse MACD is crossed down, right? So that tried to cross up there, got some green momentum, and then it's still crossed down. So we can't take that trade. It's not in our favor. We need all four items to be in our favor in order to take a trade. Guess what? Short happens again immediately after. Comes down, right? We want to look at the EMAs. The EMAs, they're sort of just merged together and then they separate, right? So this trade, the short, once this EMA crosses down, that's confirmation right there. We have confluence. This is in our favor. Impulse MACD crossed down from yellow to red. That's fantastic. That's what we want to see. Squeeze is squeezing. That's great. And we have our momentum going from green to neutral to red. Red is good for down trades. And the trend is neutral. So we can take a long or short in a neutral trend. That's fantastic. We just don't trade against the trend ever, right? Okay. Once we're in this trade, we see that this thing goes down, hits our 1% goal, right? That's our take profit and close the trade. Now, as you know, I take 20 points and I close half my trade and let the rest go on a trailing stop. This was a fantastic trade here. If you took one E-mini for this trade, $4,059. That's it. $4,059 on one trade. That's incredible, right? But as you know, I take micros, so 2 to 4 micros at the entry. If there's a pullback, I may enter more, right? On this one, we did 3 micros on the entry. There was no pullback to add another 3, so you're essentially looking at $459 times 3 would have been my trade. But I got out one at 20 points, and the other one was a trailing stop. Still a fantastic trade. So anyone can do this. You can do this. All you have to do is follow the rules, right? The rules are very clear. And when the setup is present, you can take that trade, right? Then we get another trade. Well, this one fires long, except the EMAs are not crossed in our favor. So we can't enter that trade until, well, everything is in our favor. So we have 6, 7 bars later, the EMAs cross right here, right? Crossed up, hung on to the upside. So this trade is valid. And what happens is you basically enter on the same, more or less on the same level as where the algorithm fired, right? We fired here at 738. It pulls back and crosses. You get there at 748. So if 748, it's 10 points higher than where the algo fired. That's not a big deal, right? Everything else in our favor. Impulse MACD crossed up. Green, right? That's strong. Showing green to the upside. Momentum and trend in our favor. That is another fantastic trade right there. All right. That one ended up being $1,169 until the next signal. All right. So that's what this calculates until the next signal happens and reverses. That's the money that came out of it. So, you know what I like to do? I like to get 20 points. You get 20 points on almost any trade, right? Once you enter, 20 points is very easy to do once you have all of these things in your favor. So I enter 4, got out 2 with 20 points, let the rest trail. The rest got stopped out when it pulls back for me. Fantastic. Third trade of the day. This one's an easy one. Very obvious, right? EMA crossed down at the same time as the algo fired. That is valid. Impulse MACD crossed down, went from yellow to red. That is good for our downward momentum. And I didn't go over the squeeze last time, but I forgot to mention the squeeze went from red to green. That's really strong in our favor. We want to see this red to green on the TTM Squeeze. All right, that indicator is available for free in my description. All of these indicators down here are free in my description. This one is a paid indicator, right? The algorithm, that's the one that we use to enter all these trades. One of these trades will pay you back for that algorithm in perpetuity. This is a down move here. Squeeze is squeezing. Momentum and trend from neutral to red. It's exactly what we want to see on this type of move. And that goes down here until we get a cross back up. That trade, $2,825.50 on 1E mini NQ, right? So I take my micros, all right, $282 times 4, get out of 20 points, right? And then the rest is trailed. The trail barely got nicked right here, which is almost a full trade. So I realized about 260 of this $282 per micro, right? So that's over $1,100 on one trade right there, right? And that's the third trade of the day. You can do this. Anybody can do this. All you have to do is follow the rules. There's 4 rules. Enter on the algorithm. Make sure that the EMAs are in your favor. The impulse MACD has to be in the direction of the trade. You want the squeeze to fire. When it goes from red to green and fires immediately on your trade, that's an even more robust signal, right? But you don't want it to be, just kind of hanging out in red and red and red and red and red, right? See what happens here. You get this red, and it flattens out, and you lose that momentum, and then it fires back to green, and then all of a sudden you get continuation. That's the power of the squeeze, right? When you see the squeeze firing, you get robust momentum. When it goes back to red, it's sort of regrouping, consolidating, and you don't still have that same move. Just that's understanding that indicator. And then, of course, number 4 criteria is our trend and momentum in the direction of the trade. We never want to trade against it. Once you enter the trade, it's fine. You don't have to worry about this any longer, right? You don't have to look at it, but when you enter the trade, you want to make sure that it is going in your favor. You either want neutral or in the direction of your trend. If you're going short, you want to go from neutral to red. If you're going long, you want it to go from neutral to green. And if you see this go from neutral to red and you're long, your trade's probably going to stop you out. And that's okay. Getting stopped out is part of trading. And then the last trade, which did meet the criteria, but it was late in the day, was a short, right? But here's what I don't like, right? And this sometimes will keep me out of trades, especially later in the day. If this happens in the morning and, trying to find direction. Late in the day, this just means chop, right? Chopping around. We don't have any commitment one way or another. So even on this trade, everything else, measured up, EMAs in our direction. Algo fired short, squeeze was there, and the trend and momentum, ended up being in our favor. It reversed on us, and this impulse MACD will help you stay out of those trades if you don't want to risk chop, right? Which I highly recommend. And that time of day is not a great time to take trades later in the week, in my opinion. However, why would you want to take all of this and risk it, right? But it ended up only being a small loss anyway on that one. And that's it. That's all you have to do in order to win every day, right? Take the trades that meet the criteria, have a list, have a checkbox, for yourself. Is this present? Is this present? Is this present? Is this present? Yes, enter. Make money. Click, make money. Click in, click out. On futures, it's super easy. This will work for you too on crypto. This will work for you on stocks, equities. This algorithm works on all of these things. I found my greatest and highest probability for making money is to use futures, and specifically NQ future. I do have settings for YM. I also trade YM. I like it, and it has good longevity, good staying power for the most part. But NQ sets up the best as far as, making the most money in the least amount of time. And that's really what it boils down to for me. But I don't want to trade too large. I don't want to risk daily loss limits or blowing up accounts. So I trade micros in order to stay liquid. Don't want to trade your own money? Trade money from a prop firm. If you know how to trade, if you could do this, if you can meet these 4 criteria boxes to enter trades, and you can, manage your risk, and you could be disciplined in your entries and your exits, trade someone else's money. Go to trypropfirms.com and see what prop firms are available. On there, we have vetted and traded all of the different companies that are on there. Some of them are instantly funded accounts. Some have trials where you have to trade and prove that you could trade before you get a funded account. Either way, There's something for everybody there. So go to trypropfirms.com. Those are affiliate links, so you can get the discounts that are automatically applied when you come through. Otherwise, there will be a link in the description for which code to use to get the best discount that's available at the time. Trypropfirms.com, and also in my description, you can see a link for the algorithm to sign up for that. That is the affiliate link, so I do get a few bucks if you click through. Appreciate that. And, folks, I'm showing you how to make money here. Every day you can do this. If you meet the 4 criteria, enter these trades, make money. It's not that hard. I figured it out for you. All you have to do is do this for yourself.